Hey everyone, this is Dansparce, and today we are back in Pokemon FireRed. Now, I've gone ahead and gone through Viridian Forest. There was no reason to show you guys that, because, you know, I already beat everything in there. Didn't run into anything interesting. Now, I don't know how many people know about this, but there's a Pokeball up here. So that's always fun. So today we're gonna beat Brock and maybe get to Mount Moon. We'll see. I'm hoping you can hear me just fine. And I'm really hoping that you don't hear that vacuum cleaner in the background. We're gonna go ahead and switch in Doriz to take on this gym. Stop right there, kid. You're 10,000 light years from facing Brock. What a little nerd. Seriously, camper Liam. Now, at the moment I'm recording this, there have been some new information about the next Pokemon games, the Alpha and Omega remakes. And, you know, I know last time we were talking about Mega Evolutions. And, well, apparently, the Mega Evolutions for Trico and Mudkip have been revealed. And you know what? I really like them. I think, especially Marshtomp, Mega Marshtomp. He looks pretty cool. He kind of looks like a Sandshrew. Like he has that same sort of build where, like, you expect he'll be able to like roll up into a ball, which will probably be very interesting. And, you know, I was also talking about last time how I was really hoping that the remakes would really hit you over the head that Hoenn is supposed to be a tropical region. And it looks like they're going to do that because Team Aqua have all apparently been changed to have darker skin. You know, I don't know if they're actually dark-skinned or if they're just, you know, tan. And also, it appears that the male protagonist, the male character you can play as, also has darker skin. Now, of course, they could probably bring back character customization, or since it's the remake for the generation, they might actually add more features to the customization, since usually the remakes in a generation, or the second batch of games within a single generation, usually have a little bit more features than the first run. Like, you know, Heart Gold Soul Silver had a little bit more than Diamond and Pearl. Black 2, White 2 had more than Black and White. So, you know, oops. So yeah, I'm really hoping, this is not, okay, I think we're gonna switch out. So yeah, it looks like I'm getting my wish. Because I know that when I play the game, no matter which trainer I choose, you know, I'm gonna be playing a male character, so it'd be awesome if they're tan. I'm not tan, but I like the idea that the region has a tanner feel to it now. And I'm hoping they redesign other people, like they redesign more of the trainers and the gym leaders, the Elite Four, to reflect the tropical sort of nature of the region. I'm also There's one design choice I did not like. They completely redesigned Team Magma and Team Aqua, like from the ground up, essentially. Like, they look completely different. They're grunts. They're higher members. They look like, I guess they're admins and whatnot. They look really, really cool. And you know, Team Aqua's leader looks really awesome. But then they redid Team Magma's leader. I think his name is Tabitha? No, Tabitha's one of the admins, isn't he? But whatever his name is, they made him into a real nerd. Like, he looks like he has that whole anime thing of having, you know, the highly reflective glasses and everything. It looks pretty hilarious, I should say. So, you know, that's the one thing I don't like. I'm not going to talk about the leaks too much. You can go... I'll put a link to them in the description, and you can go look at them yourself if you're curious. But, you know, some people may not want to see the actual spoilers, so I'm not going to talk about actual design elements too much more, or, you know, anything like that. Alright. Brock. I remember as a kid, Brock was always the hardest gym for me. Like, it took a while for me to figure out exactly what to do with Brock, because I was very impatient. I didn't like training, so I would come in here, actually avoided Pokemon battles as a kid. So my Pokemon were really underleveled all the time. I had like shitty stats because the only Pokemon I ever ended up fighting were wild ones. It was not good. But you know, I never figured out how to beat Brock. But I beat Brock eventually. But you know, it took me years to learn that, you know, you could go catch Nidorans, and they learned double kick, you know, that you can find Mankeys and things. So it was a real pain. I remember in Pokemon Yellow, what I used to do to try to beat Brock was I would catch a Butterfree and then train it up to where it learned Confusion. And that worked actually pretty well, because it was a, you know, all of Brock's Pokemon have really high defense, but not very high special defense, so Confusion worked pretty well. And of course I'm talking about when my Pokemon were like, when I had like Charmander as a starter, and not Bulbasaur or Squirtle, because that, you know, it's pretty obvious how to beat Brock with Bulbasaur or Squirtle. But I always chose Charmander, because as a kid I was always like, yeah, fire and dragons, and that's awesome, not this stupid turtle or this onion frog. And there was also a rumor that went around when I was a kid that if you chose the Pokemon that was on the box art, they were stronger in that version. So if you had Pokemon Red and you chose Charmander, it was a better choice. And everyone pretty much agreed that Bulbasaur sucked, so nobody ever chose Bulbasaur. Like, everyone chose either Charmander or Squirtle. Most people chose Charmander. You know, speaking of Pokemon, like, rumors and stuff, I remember there being a rumor, I must have been like in 5th grade by then, Like, Pokemon was already out, like, for about a year. And there was a rumor that Lickitung and Yoshi were related to one another. And that, like, if you did something in the game, either that Lickitung would evolve into a Yoshi. A really ridiculous rumor. But, oh, wait. But, you know, kids come up with stupid stuff like that. What other rumors were there, now that I'm thinking about it? Oh, there's the Bill's Lighthouse rumor. That's a very popular one, that you could somehow get behind Bill's Lighthouse. I'm trying to remember what exactly people said when I was younger about what was behind Bill's Lighthouse. There was something, and it had to... Oh! Not Bill's Lighthouse, but Bill's Cottage. The rumor was behind Bill's Lighthouse... Behind Bill's Cottage was the lighthouse from the TV show. And that behind there you could fight, you know, the large Dragonite and stuff. There were a lot of rumors I remember spreading about stuff in the game that was from the TV show. Like, I remember rumors about being able to get to the Orange Islands in the game, which is actually kind of a funny rumor because in the remakes, in FireRed, you can go to the Sevi Islands, which are kind of like the Orange Islands in a way. Like, they're the same sort of thing as like what the rumor about the Orange Islands was. So I wonder if Nintendo heard about the rumor about the Orange Islands and like decided to do that. Because, you know, they could have done a post-game thing anywhere, really. They didn't have to do it on islands. Oops. I keep pressing A, the actual A key, thinking it's the A button, but it's not. Some other rumors. Of course, there was the constant rumor of being able to find Mew 3 somewhere. And then there was the, obviously, Mew rumors about how to get to Mew. A legitimate Mew, not a hack Mew. One of my favorite ones is the rumor about the guy on Cinnabar who you trade a Raichu to. I don't remember the Pokemon you get in return, but you give him a Raichu, and then when you talk to him, he says, "The Raichu you gave me evolved," which obviously was a mistranslation. And I remember that people started thinking that it was Peekaboo, which, you know, in Peekaboo ended up being Meryl in reality. But I remember, the whole Peekaboo thing. And I don't know why anyone believed it. The idea that an electric Pokemon could somehow evolve into a water Pokemon was pretty dumb. We were dumb. What other rumors were there? There were tons of them, like the God Pokemon, like the next stages of Charizard, Blastoise, and Venusaur. Which, also, with the Mega Evolutions, it's kind of like, was Nintendo aware of all these things? I mean, it seems kind of funny that it would have actually been great if all these things that seem to be based on the rumors originally were released in this remake, because they kind of go together. Because as Pokemon went on, like, the rumors really died down. The whole culture of day one, and even before that, of leaking like every bit of information about the game has really killed the whole rumor thing, and I kind of miss the rumor thing. I kind of miss like the schoolyard thing of like, you know, there being unknown parts of games, and you don't really know if it's true or not. And I think we've lost that. There's no secrets anymore. Day one, you know, you have people who go through the entire code of the game and find everything, and then the things that are supposed to be secret, like new Pokemon that are for events and stuff, are discovered immediately and leaked. I mean, I think it does kind of take the fun out of things. Like, I would have really liked to not know anything about, is it Zygarde and Diancie and some of the other things. The Pokeball Vivillon, which was leaked way before it got released in France. And, you know, maybe they're only releasing it in France because everyone else... You know, they never released Arceus legit. I think I think they eventually did release it legit, but they canceled an entire event to release a legit Arceus because people found out about Arceus long before they wanted to show it off. So, you know, I do... Like, sometimes I think links are okay, like the Koro links, where you actually see things that Nintendo is planning to show off, like, in a week or so. Those, I think, are fine. Like, where you actually, like, leak, like, really hardcore stuff that Nintendo isn't planning to talk about for months. I don't know. I think that stuff is kind of... It's kind of shitty, and I feel really bad for Nintendo. Because, you know, I think they want to keep things secret, and they want to make people surprised, but then you know everything day one, and it's like, nothing is surprising. Day one, you already know all the Pokemon, all their types, so you have no reason to try things out or anything. You already know all the stats of all the new Pokemon and stuff when a new game comes out. So people already have their, you know, their rosters worked out. You know, it takes kind of the trial and error thing out of the game, which is something I miss. Like, I remember playing Gen 1 and Gen 2 and not really knowing much about it the first few times. Like, I had a guide for Gold and Silver, but the guide wasn't, like, perfect. They didn't reveal everything about everything, and I still had to try Pokemon out. I still had to figure out what ones I liked. And I thought it worked a lot better. I don't know. Just, I guess, you know, things have changed. The way people deal with games have changed. And maybe I'm too old. You know, sitting here talking to the internet, complaining about the way things are now. It's currently almost 10 a.m., by the way, and, you know, I got up about 2 hours ago, and I feel really, really good today. How do you guys feel today? Let me know. Do you feel good? Do you feel bad? Do you want to talk about anything? You know, did you sleep well? If you're watching this right after you woke up. Did you have good dreams? I hope you had good dreams. I had weird dreams. You don't even want to know. My dreams were all over the place last night. was pretty wild, I should say. You know, I will admit that. I really want to get to Mount Moon because I don't want to make so many really short videos. So hopefully we can get through this a little bit quicker. But I don't want to throttle because throttling creates a really ugly noise, like it doesn't sound good. And last time I tried to mute while throttling, I fucked up the sound, so we are not going to do that again. Right? Right. So today is Sunday, June... It's either 7 or 8, I think. I don't have my phone next to me right now. But tonight's Sunday, and there's a new Game of Thrones on tonight. Episode 9. And episode 9s are always like the shocking episodes. So, you know, considering what last week's was, this one has gotta be something amazing, right? I mean, I kind of know what it is. I read the books. But I mean, it's great. Are you excited? Are you guys excited? I'm totally excited. I love Game of Thrones. I love A Song of Ice and Fire. Probably my favorite book series. And my favorite TV show at the moment. I love serialized dramatic television. I love stories. Instead of self-contained little things, I like overarching storylines, and so I love Game of Thrones. Before Game of Thrones, I loved... Did anyone else here watch... who are here, like you're actually here, did anyone else watch Battlestar Galactica? The remake? From like 2004, I think? Ah, so good. Such good television. Best, like, it was so good. I'm not going to spoil anything for those of you who didn't watch, but if you like science fiction, and if you like science fiction that deals with, you know, concepts of, you know, religion and humanity and what is a human and what it means to be alive, and, you know, those sorts of more spiritual questions tied in with, like, science fiction, totally watch it, totally. It's amazing. It has some great characters in that show. I would also recommend Deep Space Nine, because Ronald Moore, who was one of the main producers for Battlestar Galactica, the remake, also worked on Deep Space Nine, and so especially in the later seasons of Deep Space Nine with like the Dominion War stuff, they really feel similar. And Deep Space Nine is a great show also. But Star Trek: The Next Generation is also really good. Too many good things. Lots of good TV. What else do I like? I really like Sherlock. But, you know, there's only three episodes every couple of years. Sherlock's good. I've been meaning to check out that Fargo miniseries. I think it's on FX. Has Martin Freeman in it also. It looks good. I haven't seen it. If any of you watch it, you know, what do you think of it? Is it good? I like Orange is the New Black. It's a pretty fun show. What else do I like? I don't really like too many TV shows, now that I think about it. Like, I like a very small number of TV shows, and those are the ones that I watch. Say Battlestar Galactica, Orange is the New Black, Downton Abbey, Downton Abbey's good. Oh. Oh. Okay, this is a funny little story. Okay, so in Downton Abbey, Maggie Smith plays like the matriarch of the family, and she's always walking around in like these ridiculous dresses and things, and she has her cane, and she's always like walking like all, you know, like she has like a purpose, and she's all pompous and arrogant about, you know, her status and stuff. Well, I went to the wedding for my cousin recently, and there was my grandmother in a ridiculous looking dress with a cane, dead on playing Maggie Smith's character. It was hilarious. I wish I had my phone. I would have taken a picture. It was so hilarious. She was totally pulling a Maggie Smith in Game of Thrones, not Game of Thrones, in Downton Abbey at that wedding. So it's pretty hilarious. Sorry I'm being so quiet. I'm thinking of something to talk about. You know, none of you guys are leaving me questions or comments, so I have nothing to talk about when I make these videos. Okay, I have a question to you. What TV shows do you guys like? And they don't necessarily have to be on TV. You know, they could be Netflix originals, like Orange is the New Black. And they don't necessarily have to be on now. They can be like what your all-time favorite TV shows are. You know, they could be whatever, as long as they are not movies, as long as they are shows, because there is a difference. Oh, but speaking of movies, why not? What's your favorite movies also? My favorite movies. Oh, that's a lot harder for me. I don't watch many movies. I like Star Wars. I like all the Star Wars, even the prequels, which I know is like sacrilege. But you know, I think they're fine. I mean, yeah, the acting. I think the only problem I have with the prequels is some of the acting. You know, Anakin, older Anakin, you know, kid Anakin, it's a child actor. Who cares? You get what you get with child actors. But Anakin, he was a little whiny. So he's my biggest problem with the prequels, is older Anakin. I'm fine with everything else. I think the CG's fine. I'm fine with the CG. I don't get people's hate for CG. I think Star Wars CG is actually some of the better CG out there. Like, I mean, you can have there, especially for the time period. Like the CG that was put into the original series in like the 90s. For the 90s CG, that looked good. And the CG that was put into, that was used in the prequels for, you know, early 2000s, that looked good. You know, like, you know, and people like go, oh, practical effects are better. You know, there should be more puppets in CG. The puppets look like puppets. I mean, they're not like Muppets. They're still clearly not real. I mean, you have to, if you're gonna watch anything like Star Wars, you have to suspend your disbelief. You have to have a suspension of disbelief to get through Star Wars. And so, regardless of whether or not it's a puppet or CG, you know, there's no reason, you know, to complain about it. You know, Like, I just think it's silly. I think people are complaining for the sake of complaining, and I don't think it is. It's kind of annoying, you know, the Han shot first stuff, you know, all that stuff that people go on about. It's like, just get over it, you know. Just really, none of it changes the story. It's not like they like the changes that he's made to the original series. None of those changes affected the storyline. They didn't chop up the story and re-edit it. So, like, you know, they did that, and I mean, I'm sorry, but I don't mean to be one of those people, but the prequels, not that confusing. I watched it when I was like 10. I understood what was going on. You know, I didn't understand maybe the full complexity of the situation, but I understood. The Trade Federation, you know, they wanted money. They were greedy. They wanted money. So they got in bed with the Sith, blockaded Naboo to try to get the Senate to do what they wanted, because the Sith told them what they would do, you know, that they would be able to get money out of it and stuff, and I mean, whatever, it's not that hard to understand. But enough about that. This has been Dansparce. Next video, we're going to go through Mount Moon. Like, comment, subscribe. Please leave me comments so I can actually have, leave me comments and questions so I can actually have something that I can talk about instead of just rambling, because I ramble, and I ramble a lot if I don't have an actual thing to focus on. So yeah, until next time, bye!